Yeah, so we're going to start off with these little like fit pic breakdown thing. I'm going to show you 3 images, all in different places, different times of your life, and I want you to tell me what you're wearing, where you are, and a little bit about the relevance of that photo. So, top to bottom inbound. Let's start off with this one.
Yeah. First one's a bit of a belter, really. This is a good moment. You can probably see how happy I am, like looking a little bit weird. But this was the first ever bound sample package that arrived. When you code everything, when you're designing, you obviously put like a style number. So this was like BD01.
Okay.
So this is the first ever one. When I wanted to start designing like my own custom stuff, striped t-shirts at the time was something I was loving, and like
Timeless though, mate. A striped t-shirt is going to look good forever, and particularly in the classic colours that you choose to do them in. You know
exactly. And like this was best-selling piece from that first ever drop. Sold out like instantly on the first day, which was wild. So it's like 270 GSM French terry cotton. It was like my first pleasure of being able to pick the exact fabric that I wanted. First custom piece after like using a lot of blanks for how many years before. So this is actually my girlfriend's, well, fiance now. It's little flat, just above, like just next to Abel Hayward, above there. So she was like, she helped me design a lot of it because that's her background. So she's been like a massive pivotal part into Bound, really, into like me learning how to design garments from scratch, because that was her degree. She's a fashion designer. So they got delivered to hers, and that was our first little package there. And so that's like an iconic. My jeans are far too skinny there though, so that's a little bit embarrassing.
When are we talking then? What year is this drop?
So that's like 5.5 years ago. Well, no, probably a bit longer than that actually, because it was like probably a 6-month period when the first samples come. So you're probably looking at 6 years ago, probably like February, March, man. That's a long time ago.
And logo front and centre.
Logo front and centre. That's always been like something that I did from the unique side of things, like early on. Started putting like a lot of logos front and center. Don't know why, just liked it. And then I kind of liked how that sat symmetrically in the middle of the stripes, like center, like sternum sort of part of the chest.
It's such a good looking word as well, Bound, like the mirror image of the B and the D at the end. It kind of lends itself well to being front and center.
That was exactly it when I was like coming up with the name, and I was like kind of clocked onto the time that I was like, right, I'm going to make my own brand now, like the design my own piece. It's going to be fully controlled by me, like from start to finish. And I was coming up with the names and like writing it, and then I jumped on Bound like straight away. And that was basically like where I came to that was it's kind of about like the togetherness and the originality, which is the strap line. It's basically like being bound by something, being bound together. Like it's got so many different meanings, that word, but all of it comes to togetherness, which is a key thing. But the B and the D being symmetrical was a key thing. I thought that's got something there. Yeah,
man, it works. And when I first started doing a podcast, I always named them. It was called Two Shot Podcast, the one that I did for a long, long time. And we always said TSP 001, TSP 002, and that was from records. That was from like following record labels and knowing the individual catalogue numbers are there. And that's obviously BD 001.
Yeah.
Is that something that you were conscious of? Did it come from a DJing thing?
No, it was literally just, it was just like when you send a style sheet across to like your manufacturer, you're like, you need to have that reference point. So, so like all these BD numbers now, it's like, I know in my head, it's like BD 72 would be like this pair of joggers or whatever. It's like, it's sick, mad. Man. It's like etched in. It's like, the crazy world of designing garms. You'd like, you code everything a little bit.
Nice.
But just the BD just kind of makes sense. I was like, abbreviated. We not used the BD logo together too much, but it kind of makes sense. But I think it will come in at some point, just like using just solidly the B and the D.
Buzzing fit, man. I mean, you are overjoyed there, ecstatic, innit?
Yeah. If I knew this photo was going to come up, I said I probably would wear better jeans. But the Nike Internationalists, they were solid back in the day.
Nice. Okay. Steezy in the Reeboks. Tell us what's happening here.
This is this was such a big moment for me, and like I like that shot and sort of just the time it was, and that was with Alex, and me and Alex, like who works with me, shoot a lot of 35mm.
Is this film. So a lot of these are liked by Cocking? Is that Alex?
He's my boy. He's been my friend
photographer
for years. Photographer, videographer. He's very talented, creative, and have the joys of working with him now. But me and him basically. He wasn't working for the company at the time, but he's done everything videography-wise for me for about 5 years in the Scream documentary, which we'll come on to. But this was LA last year, literally about a year ago now, like Halloween, I think this was. beautiful LA skies. Not that you can see it, but it's black and white. But it was like a perfect sort of like lighting. It's amazing to shoot in LA, by the way.
I bet every photographer that I know has a pilgrimage to there, and they say there's something specific about the haze that does something to the light. And obviously, all our lives being obsessed with American films and culture, a lot of it's kind of that. The 80s and 90s films are shot over there, and I don't know, it holds a special place. I've not been, but I can imagine.
It's a lot harder to shoot in Manchester, isn't it? For sure. And it made you look a lot worse in Manchester. But no, this was when we were doing the Helders collaboration. So this was on the day there. I think we stayed in Koreatown, so this is in Koreatown, and just, having a stroll, like, I think on the first day, this was when we got there, we were just having a bit of a recce and a bit of a stroll around. So, like, the fit itself, obviously, like, I just released that Bound Polo, I think, which I love that polo, like the pattern of it and stuff like that.
Let's have a look at the pattern again. Is it like a big houndstooth?
Yeah, it's like a big sort of like geometric, like repeat pattern. It's got like a lime green in it with like a pastely lime green with a black. It's quite bold, but full button down. It was the first full button down knit polo we did, so it did really, really well. I think I just got some classic Uniqlo pants on and some comfy Reebok trainers because you walk so much.
Yeah.
Reebok trainers are my go-to for like the comfort, basically.
Nice, man.
But
bold and stand up.
It was the fact that just we shouldn't like, it was ridiculous that we were in LA shooting, Drummer from the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, man.
That just, when I look at that photo, I just think like how good and surreal that trip was and that moment was, and that being there that first day was like, God.
So good to have shots like that because they do just transport you back. Like, it can open up so many memories, feelings from that place, and I think and
what I love about this shot is like Al's basically probably just said my name, or I've looked at him and he's got the camera in his hand. It's not like, and that's quite rare to get. Like, it's nice sometimes when you've got a pal that you can kind of do that with, when you're all carrying a camera and you can just like flick it out and take a shot that you don't know is coming and actually quite like. It's like sort of like cliche candid, isn't it? But
yeah, man,
it's quite a nice thing to do.
Very nice. Let's flick over to our third and final one.
Yes.
So this is a big TBT thing, isn't it? How
old
are we there?
This is a big one. Yeah, this is a heartfelt one. My granddad was an absolute G.
Dressed like one as well.
Yeah, he's just like that classic. I think like a lot of people have this, just that classic, like the smartness of his shoes always match his top. His like socks always match his knit black cardio jumper.
And they could be arse-down in the trousers, unlike me.
Yeah, and it was never like he was never like, it was never like brands. Like, it was obviously like, I guess it's like it's a lot of M&S and stuff like that. But put together, like, always a belt, always shirt, like nice tie, like he always dressed like, regardless of the situation, wherever we went, walked to the shops, like here, whatever park it was, or like theme park it was, he was always dressed like proper.
Yeah,
same. I just remember that
same
growing up.
And what are you wearing in this one? Because I picked it for two reasons. The second one's because of yours. Have a little zoom in on your outfit.
Oh, mate, yes.
So we've still got horizontal stripes.
Yeah, it's an Ibiza t-shirt. So my mum, bless her, she's a legend, loves Ibiza.
Okay.
She loved to party back in the day. Massive Northern Solar.
All right.
So she used to take me. I think, like, now that I'm older, I realise why she took me to Ibiza so many years in a row when I was younger. But yeah, her and my dad used to take me to Ibiza. So I guess I always had like quite a few Ibiza t-shirts back in the day. So yeah, a little horizontal stripe. So
Breton vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of pulled focus into now, really, I guess. But yeah, I think she used to put me in a lot of stripes, but subconsciously, I guess it pulls through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my earliest recollections of my own wardrobe, a horizontal stripe thing. I had like a horizontal stripe Gap, like light knit that I still remember, and I wish I had in my size now. I'd still wear it today.
Yeah,
it's super timeless.
There's a lot of pieces that you had when you were a kid that you wish you could like just stick in a machine and make them get bigger.
For real, like, and kids look great in them, like the body, the proportions of a kid, like they wear stuff like that well. When you look $1 million.
Yeah, there's loads, to be fair. When I did this, when I was looking through the photos when my granddad passed and like looking back at all this, I did realise all the things. He's dressed immaculately. And I'm dressed pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which was like, fair play to my kudos to my parents for putting me like that. I know my mum's like, she's pretty stylish, like she's always been into her thing. So I think she probably had a big part of that. But like me and my brother matching loads.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool, cute. But
are you big or little?
I'm bigger than him, but younger than him.
Okay.
So yeah,
he was taller. Big brother when you were little.
Yeah, he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah. I'm 2 years older than my brother, and we got matched up a bit, and it looks sick on photos, doesn't it? Like it is super cute. And let's just take a second to absorb what your granddad's wearing, because I picked it out because I think some of the stuff that you've been doing in the past 4 or 5 years is kind of more classic menswear than you were doing earlier on in your career. Shirts,
what's
trousers.
mad is like, I actually took this shirt. My grandma was like, when I went like to visit her after, and she was there, she was like, sort of dragged me up to the bedroom and was like, take some of your granddad's clothes, which is slightly morbid, and it's like, but I just picked a couple of things out of the wardrobe just to keep for my own like sake.
Yeah.
And that shirt was one of them, and I've just kind of clocked it now.
Oh,
like that
man.
shirt is in my wardrobe
Amazing.
somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of fitting with the stuff. Like everything I design now is pretty much of an era.
Yeah.
It's vintagey but reworked.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits this. And like you said, yeah, the trousers, like done a lot of trousers that are similar to that, like working more smarter trousers. So yeah, I think he'd have donned a few bound pieces now.
Yeah, man. When we get to BD 1000, maybe we can have the release of the Grandad shirt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to know what's on my feet there though. I'm
I
trying
had
to
a
like
little
pick
zoom
them
in.
in, and I can't quite. They look like little like clogs sort of things, but I can't figure them out. But they're quite cute actually. Some Rogue sunglasses there though.
Yeah, a bit of Elton John them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Your granddad's glasses as well, like big
man.
kind of Persol aviators
he
or
was
something.
cool. He was a cool dude.
Very cool.
Really
Shout out
guy.
Grandad.
Yeah, shout out Grandad. Big Trev.
My mind is burning.